welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of just filler fun things. This is a pattern called Argyll Socks that I've been playing around with and drawing and trying to figure out in my head how best to present this to you. But at the same time, we've had lots of people asking, how do I make templates? How do I do this? So we've got some beginners in our people that are viewing and all this stuff. So that's fine. We'll show you how to make templates for the sewing machine templates today and for our pattern Argyll Socks. But first I want to introduce you to Brooklyn from Block Party Quilts. Now she owns a quilt store and it's also an online quilt store. And she's showing all sorts of fun free patterns over there. And she's just having fun. So if you guys, she doesn't know what's coming. I only found her last week. Now we're filming this on the before the Thanksgiving Day weekend in Canada, which is like the first weekend in Canada in October. So we found her last week and it looks like she's starting out, but let's give her a little boost. So if you go over there and like what you see, tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. It'll be a surprise little shout out for her. Now also in the show notes below, we have our Zoom sew dates from now until the end of December. And those are so much fun. We have them once a month and the dates are listed so you can mark it down on your calendar to come join us. And we have so much fun from 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time because I'm in Alberta, Canada. Now the other thing you're going to find there too is the Facebook group that we have. It's growing rapidly. They're doing fabric exchanges, they're asking questions, they're showing pictures, there's a free pattern, you know, when people find free patterns they post them on a chat, and there's all sorts of things. There's a virtual sewing room that's there, I set it up so it's open 24/7. All you do is you type in, hey, I'm in the sewing room, does anybody want to join me? And if somebody's available, they certainly come on in. It's a lot of fun. So, without further ado, let's get to making templates for sewing. Okay, so we're at the cutting table here. Now, I've just gone to the dollar store and picked up chopping mats. Or, now this is the other thing that I found, is these Avery insertable stay edges. They're clear plastic, right? These things are just clear plastic and they're the perfect weight for templates, right? So they're just like that, you know, and they're reasonably good price. Now, any office supply company would have them. And I just keep them all in a little bag. So I've got a piece here already pulled out that I think will work. Now, when you're doing the sewing machine templates, you're looking for two different lines, right? You're going to do two different lines, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to pull off this tab thing first so you can see what you're doing. And try and be economical in what you're doing. So what I do is I take a Sharpie, and I'm taking an extra big one, and I'm drawing the outside lines first. Okay, oops, and in the inside, I'm just putting the dots down. Right now from there, I can draw from the center of each dot, I can draw out my piece, right, pretty close as to what we've got, and then you want to check it. I hope you see this. Yeah, can you see this? Okay. And then you're going to go from the outside dots to outside dots. And there we go. And it doesn't take long before you've got a template that you can work with. Now, you also check it, right? So you want to make sure that it's, now if I was doing this for, you know, something really, you know, where I needed precise, I would use a smaller thing, but I think you guys need to see what I'm doing. So, and, okay, so here it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take paper scissors, because wow, you do not want to use your sharp scissors, and I'm just going to cut that off. And you want to go down the middle of that line, pretty much. And there we go. Now what you want to do before you start cutting fabric is you want to check to make sure it matches. That is important, that this matches. And I put on mine, cut to reverse. Right? So I know this one flips, right? And it's usually, I can also put like my color, like low volume or whatever I'm going to do with it. So let's just get the other ones drawn here. Now the other way you can do it, see if I got enough room here? Yes I do. Okay, the other way you can do this, I'm just going to put this to the side, get all this clutter out of the way. Is that talker? Okay. The other way you can do it is you can just draw it on. You don't have to then worry about, you know, making your dots. Okay. I'm not a real fan of this, but it works. We used to do this with cardboard as our template. Now, you don't use the template to, oops, you don't use the template to cut. And when you move it like that, you just go back and you reposition it the best you can. Don't go, oh no. It's not that big a deal. Not a big deal. Now there's all sorts of ways to do this very precise and, you know, and not have any issues. You know, if you were hand sewing it, you know, instead of machine sewing, you would take your, I just gotta get this last line, 2 lines in here. You would take your lines and you would cut them inside. You'd cut you would just cut the inside line, and then you would make sure your fabric is cut larger, and then you would use your template to mark around on the back of the fabric, right? So that's another way of doing this. And we're just going to go all the way up. There we go. Oh. Right. And you want to check it. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Okay, cut 2. Alright, now, the last bit. And I'm just going to trim off this weird little piece. The last bit here, there it is. Now I'm going to, okay. There we go. I'm just going to go back to my preferred method. There we go. There. And now we switch over. And I am using paper scissors for this. You know, it dulls the paper scissors quite a bit. And there we go. Okay, now that's the last of it. So now we're just gonna cut this up through here. Cut that point off. There we go. And we just want to make sure it matches up to what we need. Yes, it does. Well, it's pretty good. So let's go cut 2. Okay. So there it is. That's how you make these little templates. And it's really fast, easy little thing to do. And here is what it's going to look like when it's all done. But we'll get more into that later. I just wanted to show you in this video how to cut your sewing machine or hand sewing templates. Now, they also have little tools where you make a hole right at the corner so you can put your pencil or pen lines in. And I don't have that little punch. And you would put them on the inside line, like the line you sew for hand sewing, and then you draw with a pencil. But because we're doing this as a sewing machine, well, now we know exactly where to pivot, right? So anyways, let's get back to that sewing machine here for our ta-da moment. Okay, here are our templates, the little plastic templates for the sewing machine version or the hand piecing version. Now, these, I mean, all you need is some clear plastic or clear-ish plastic. The way I showed you, there's different ways of doing templates, right? I mean, we could go on and on and on about templates. I mean, it's fine. If you're going to use these for hand piecing, this would be your cutting template, and then you would draw your lines for your 1/4 inch, right? Like you would get that hole punch or punch holes with a stiletto. Right, I don't even know where my stiletto is. Okay, with a stiletto or something to push the hole, and then you would draw your lines on your fabric from mark to mark to show you where your stitching has to go, right? Now, this has been something that people have used forever. They used to use cardboard, right? I mean, you see patterns in the Ladies' Home Journal or McCall's. There was a whole bunch of patterns at one time that you would make your templates out of plastic or cardboard. And I remember my mom, you know, upgraded to margarine lids, right? Because they were flat, right? So it was kind of like, these were perfect little templates for people to make, right? And that's exactly how they would make them. They would sit there and they would draw the templates and then run around it and, you know, everything like that. It's one of those things. And this method, you only need paper, scissors, a Sharpie marker. Like if I was doing something where I was going to do lots and lots of these, this Sharpie marker would be a fine marker, not the big thick point one that I've got here, but this works. This works really well. And the key here is to check your work. Like once you make this, to check it back to the original pattern. Make sure you've got the right size and that everything is working out for you. Like I say, the hand piecing ones are very similar with this. You just mark your line now to make sure you've got your good 1/4 inch all the way around, and that becomes your sewing line. And you would mark that in pencil, right? Because pencil washes out. So this was a lot of fun to show you guys how to make sewing machine templates. Like, if there's anything like you guys find that you need help with or whatever, email me or post it in the Facebook group, or come to the Zoom Sew Dates and say, look, can you do a video on, you know, and then we'll find out, you know, we'll put it on the list of videos to make, right? I mean, this is kind of like, it's not just I'm showing you pattern after pattern after pattern. This is also an opportunity for you to do how-tos, like how to do this or how to do that, right? So, until we meet again, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week ahead and things go right for you all the time, okay? You take care, all right, bye! My husband and I would love to thank you for all of the amazing people that we have met along this crazy YouTube adventure that we've been having. We do free speaking engagements too, so if you're part of a guild and they're looking for, you know, people to talk and, you know, and chat with, you know, in their monthly meetings, tell them that I'm doing free ones just to help the guilds out, because it's been a tough time for the guilds as well. You know, share, like, and subscribe with your friends. You know, make sure that they're, you know, they get the word out on us. That's the best way you can do to help us out. So until we meet again, I want to thank you. Okay, goodbye.